So let me take a moment before lunch and tell you about building your own credit. Because the first person you should borrow from or raise money from is yourself. Would you agree, yes or no? Good. So, I don't know if you know how I started, but I used to be in the hotel business. I used to work at the Century Plaza Hotel in 1980. And I was working very hard. And I wanted to become a general manager. And a billionaire in the name of Edmond Baysari identified me as a potential investor to be his right-hand man. In 1980, there were maybe 6-7 billionaires around the world, and he was one of them. He, a very interesting guy, and he said, Sharif, why are you working so hard? Come and work for me. So I went to work for him. And what I did when I was working for him is, every time I received a letter of like, hey, you've been pre-approved for this credit card, I said, okay, and I got the credit. How many people receive letters like this? Okay, so you know, so you're building your credit. And until now, I still do it. Actually, it's been my modus operandi for so many years in my life. And what happens, like, when you get the credit, this is how I do it. So they send me a pre-approval letter. You've been pre-approved for up to $25,000. You've gotten those letters. You fill out the form. You send it. Then they send you the credit card. They said, here is your card. We give you $20,000. But you were pre-approved for up to 25, but they give you 20. Are you with me so far? So what I do is I call the credit card company. And I say, hey, I just received $20,000 in credit. And the person says, yes, we're very happy to tell you that you're now calling in so you can activate the card. No, but 20,000 is an insult. That's dinner for me. Can you increase it to 30,000? The person says, I'm not allowed to increase it because you've gone through the proper process and you've been approved for 20. You can probably use it for a few months and then call us after we see the usage. You can maybe move it up to 25 or maybe 30. I don't know, but my bosses will have to. Well, ma'am, sir, do you have a supervisor? Now, a supervisor is somebody usually in the area that's doing supervision, not regular vision, supervision. Are you with me so far? So they call the supervisor. Supervisor gets on the phone. Usually it's a female supervisor because they're more attentive to numbers and details. And the supervisor would say something like, oh, Mr. Medawar, thank you so much for calling us. You've been pre-approved for 20 and you've gotten the credit for 20. I understand you want 30, but we can do 30. But I'm allowed to just increase it to 22.5. Will that be acceptable today? And what's your answer? Don't ever give in so easy. No, 22.5 is still an insult. What can I do to get up to 30? Well, I'll tell you what, sir. I'll put a notification here in the system. If you use it for 6 months and charge at least $5,000 and pay it on time, we can then automatically move you to 25. And then after 1 year, we can do the same, automatically move you to 30. Now, what have I done? I got it from 20 to 22.5, and automatically it's going to go to 25 and eventually to 30. Are you with me on this? You do a few credit cards like this. What do you end up having? A bunch of credit cards and credit lines. Actually, my first deal that I've done was in Solana Beach, California, at 57678 Lomas Santa Fe Drive. There was a duplex. I was very young. And I bought it using cash advance on credit cards. There was a no income, no asset verification loan. If it wasn't for the credit cards, I had a lot of knowledge, no cash. I mean, my entire net worth was $1,500, but my knowledge was worth $1 billion. So I wasn't too scared to get cash advance on my credit cards, do the deal, split the units, and sold them, made $150,000. That was my first deal. Second deal, I made $1 million from Mira Mesa, California, 172 unit deal. I was less than 30 years old. And then the economy collapsed with the Gulf War. If you remember in 1991, like January 6, 1991, the Gulf War started, bombing Iraq. Remember that? San Diego market went overnight, kid you not, overnight, sucking wind. In case you don't know what sucking wind is, it's an expression of emptiness. You do an open house, nobody. You put milk, cookies, and bananas, nobody shows up. Nobody was buying anything. It was the best time. I made so much money at that time, it was unbelievable. I used to go to people and knock on the door. I understand you're renting here, you're paying $1,050. How would you like to own over there at $1,300 and you'll have tax deductions worth $400? You will pay less and own a building. Would you like to go in? Let me show you statistically why you need to do it now. People will be like, oh my God, I was making so much money educating people one-on-one. It's always great when there is a disaster, how you position yourself to help people make money and not succumb to the pressure of life. But anyway, so let's fast forward to today. How do you do this? You do it when you get your credit cards. A lot of people say to me, Sharif, I have like 100,000 in credit cards, but my cash advance is 5,000 on this, 10,000 on maybe my total cash advance is 25,000. But I have 100,000 credit cards. How many people understand the concept? Cash, yeah, cash advance versus cash credit card, yeah, okay. So the way you do it now is we have PayPal. Thank God for PayPal, because you can set up a PayPal account and you can invoice yourself. So if you have 100,000 in credit cards and you only have 25,000 in cash advance, which will be a very high interest rate, you just go to PayPal, and I don't have to teach you about PayPal. Go to paypal.com, how to set up an account. It will take you 5 minutes. How to invoice somebody. It's going to show you how you invoice yourself. You send an invoice for 50,000. You go online, you pay by credit card the 50,000. You just got the 50,000 into your PayPal. Click transfer money now. Transfer money now. It costs you like $100. It shows in your account in less than 10 minutes. Transfer money tomorrow. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And the money, boom, you have the 50,000 in your bank account the next day. Now you have the 50,000, you can go build some more credit. Are you with me on PayPal? So everybody with me on so far? Okay, good. And by the way, when you do the cash advance, it's not a cash advance now on PayPal, you're paying an invoice. When you pay the invoice, you can, before you pay it, you can call the credit card, say, look, I got an invoice to pay for 25,000 on this credit card. You call the other one, hey, I got an invoice to pay, I'm going to use 15,000, and this one 5,000, whatever. And you can negotiate a 0% interest rate for a few months, 6 months, a year, whatever. Are you with me? Credit cards will say, okay, do that with us, we'll charge you no interest, or charge you 2.8% interest. They want you to use the credit, and that's why they give you credit cards. Is that beautiful, yes or no? So far, you're with me? Good. So when you have 100,000 of credit cards, how did you build up to that? You started getting 5 and 10 and 15, and you keep applying for new cards, keep applying, and it builds and gets easier as you build time. And you always dispute with them, how come you gave me only this? How come? Let's say you were hoping for 20, they gave you 25. You call them and still say, how come? How come 25? This is ridiculous. You understand? And the beauty is, as you build that credit, like I had a guy who said, Sharif, I have 50,000 in total credit available on my credit cards. And he said, I owe 45,000 is what I owe. My credit went down to 640. It used to be 810. What should I do? I'm trying to pay them down fast. Don't pay them down. Just apply for more credit cards. The more credit cards you apply, the better off you are. So you apply for more credit cards, you end up having 100,000 in credit cards. Your debt ratio goes from 90 some percent. Are you with me? From 90%, it goes to 45%. Your credit score goes to 750. I'm telling you, the best thing about the United States of America is understanding the lending system and how banks work. Wealth is a skill based on numbers. Most people, as soon as you tell them, we're going to talk about some numbers, I'm not good with numbers. You don't have to know a lot of numbers. Just know a couple numbers on a building and a couple numbers on credit and how to present syndication, you're up and running. I used to be very bad in math. When it became my own money, I became a human calculator. I can calculate anything. I can do algebra standing there. Actually, I became so good with numbers that Hilton Hotels took me to the casino division because I could stand in front of the roulette table and tell them the calculus of probability, what the minimum and maximum should be on any of the casino tables. I became a human calculator. Became unbelievable. So this is not so difficult to do. You just call a credit card and you apply. And you go to Credit Karma, which is, I think you pay something small for it. You can run your own credit anyway for free. But go to Credit Karma and they tell you what credit cards based on your score will be the highest likelihood to get credit. Actually, I'm going to give you something better. Is Mitch here? Okay, so I asked a company to come in. They came in last weekend or the weekend before I taught in San Francisco. And I asked a gentleman in the name of Mitch to come in. That company, I urge you to talk to them. They did it as a favor to me in San Francisco. It was a huge success. And Mitch, can you raise your hand? Mitch is back there. Can you take a look at Mitch? So Mitch represents a company that you can sit with them. They can give you instantly an increase in your credit from 30,000 to 250,000, and you can have the interest at 0% for the first 6 months to a year. Am I right? That's what happened in San Francisco. I had people telling me, I just increased my credit by $100,000. I mean, this is unbelievable. So during today and maybe tomorrow, I don't know when he's leaving, but try to catch him today or tomorrow and ask him about it. Sit down with him. See if you can increase your own credit. Thank you, Mitch. So I want to tell you how, when I got married, so my wife is originally from Cancun, Mexico. We met in San Diego, in La Jolla. And when we got married, of course, before we got married, I ran her credit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. No, we got married, and I said, hey, listen, Teresa, what's your credit? How's your credit like? I see her using American Express. And she said, oh, I don't have credit. I believe in paying cash. I don't like credit and debt. I said, no, you're missing the essence of being in the United States. This is not Mexico. Mexico is all cash. But here it's all credit. Even if you have the cash, you need to work with the credit. Heck, listen to this. Side note. If I'm buying an apartment building and I have all cash, I'm still going to actually get a loan even for $100,000. Can anybody guess why? Not build my credit. That is true, but not the main reason. Why? Leverage, okay, but 100,000, let's say it's a 10 million building, I'll still get 100,000 loan. Why? Not taxes, no? It's so little, but it's true, you're right, but it's not. Because the bank has an underwriting department that has to go through the same scrutiny to give me the loan for $1 or 10 million. So the bank will be my second line of defense in case I missed anything. This is the best thing I'm telling you, banks are your best allies. I don't even have to worry too much about due diligence. I hand it to the bank. The bank will say, hey, what is the second environmental study? Why do I need one? Because the first one said this. Oh, I didn't even notice that. I had the attorney didn't notice. I didn't notice. The title company didn't notice. Thank God there is a banker afraid for every dollar they have. It's so beautiful. Brings tears to my eyes. Okay, let's go back to this. So I tell my wife, what? You have no credit here? She said, I have no credit. I said, okay, let's set up a credit. I'm going to get you $1 million credit in just a few months. She said, that's impossible. I said, I'll show you how. And here's how we did it. And you can do the same thing. Listen carefully. You can go to online, any of these companies, like you can go inc123.com. I have no benefit for you going on this site or any website. And you can log on it, set up a C corporation or an LLC with a separate tax ID. Tax identification, like a social security for the company. Are you with me, yes or no? So you have now the LLC with a separate tax ID. All right? And you can have the LLC with a separate tax ID, open the PayPal account for it. Are you with me? You're with me. You have now an LLC with a separate tax ID, and the paperwork for it comes to you by email. And now you got that thing set up. So it's very inexpensive on that website. It's because the operating agreement and all this is the standard stuff. It's not serious. It's just to build credit. Now you have it set up. You can actually have it invoice you on PayPal for, let's say, $50,000 that you have in credit cards. Because I told you about how to increase your own credit. You take your credit cards and you pay on PayPal $50,000. So now you have $50,000 on your LLC, sitting in your LLC on PayPal. Are you with me, yes or no? You go to the bank. Watch this now. You go to the bank and you tell the bank, hi, I just printed these documents because I opened a limited liability company. And the limited liability company, here is the certificate of ownership, here's the tax ID, I need to open a bank account. It takes some 5 minutes, let's say Wells Fargo, they open a tax ID, LLC, bank account, and they give you now the bank account. Now you go home, you transfer the $50,000 from PayPal into a deposit into your bank account. So now you have a deposit of $50,000 sitting in your LLC. That deposit is to capitalize your entity. That means to fund your entity. Is that legal, yes or no? Does it have any tax impact, yes or no? Zero tax impact. Really? Because you just put money to capitalize an entity. Now, you go to the bank the next day because you got the $50,000 there, and you tell the bank, hi, I'm Sharif Medawar. I have a bank account here that I opened yesterday, and I put in it $50,000. Do you see it? They say, yes, we see it. Wonderful. I would like to please open a CD, certificate of deposit, under my limited liability company bank account for the $50,000. The banker says, wonderful. Here is a certificate of deposit. We're going to hold your money. How long is a CD for? You're going to have a CD for 6 months. Are you with me, yes or no? And let's say they're going to just pay you 1%. on that CD. As soon as you get the certificate of deposit, they give it to you and say you have 50,000 deposit under your 123 LLC company, whatever the name of the company is. You say, great. Could you tell me who is your lender here for the commercial loans? Oh my God, Jenny is the lender. Let me take you around. She's the commercial loan officer, because they usually get like commission or stars or points or whatever bonuses they have. She comes around, takes you by the hand, takes you over to Jenny's desk. Hi Jenny, my name is Sharif Medawar. Oh, Mr. Medawar, have a seat. Look, I just opened 50,000 CD with my LLC. Oh my God, that's wonderful. Yes, I would like to borrow. See, I just realized I need the 50,000, but I don't want to break the CD because I just opened it. I need to borrow 50,000 against my CD, fully collateralized by the CD. You understand what fully collateralized means? It's secured 100% by the CD. Boom. They fill out paperwork online. They love you. They say, please have a seat. Coffee, tea, or me? Please sit down. Here is $50,000. Sign, initial sign. Do you understand that now you have a loan for $50,000? You have a loan with the bank under your LLC for $50,000. And it's going to charge you, let's say, because it's fully collateralized, we're going to have to charge you 3% interest. Sir, ma'am, do you understand? Your CD is only giving you 1%, but you're paying 3%. Do you understand? You have an arbitrage, negative payment of 2%. You understand that? And what do you say? Yes, I completely understand. Thanks for explaining it. Initial sign. And now they give you a little booklet, and they say, please make your payment once a month to this account. You can do it online. You can do this. You say, wonderful. Thank you so much. And you walk out with a loan of $50,000, which the loan is actually a CD. You understand? That loan that you get is like a cashier check. Okay? Cashier check. Are you with me on this? Cashier check, loan payable to your LLC. You got that? Can I hear a yes? You go out of Wells Fargo and you go right next door to Bank of America. And you walk in. Hi, can I open a bank account from my LLC? Yes, please. Talk to Joe over there. He's the teller. Hi, Joe. Here is my certificate of ownership. I want to deposit $50,000. Wonderful. That's a cashier check from Wells Fargo. It can clear right now. What would you like to do? You know what I'd like to do with the money I just deposited? I would like to have a CD for $50,000. You see where I'm going with this now? Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. We have another deposit here in the other bank, $50,000. And now as soon as you get that CD, you say, where's your loan officer? Loan officer is Johnny. He's sitting over there. Let me take you around. They take you to Johnny by the hand, sit down. Johnny's like, oh my God, coffee, tea, cookies. We have coffee. It's stale. We started with the coffee at 9 o'clock. It's 3 p.m., but we can get you some cookies. What do you want? Okay, no problem. I'd like to actually show you that I opened a CD with my company, and I would like to borrow against it 100% collateral. That's great. We don't even need to run your credit. There is no need for any credit. The tax ID is fine. We have your money here. We're going to block the money. If it's okay with you, we're going to block the money because it's going to be the collateral, and here is the actual loan for $50,000 cashier check. We're going to waive the $8 cashier check fee because we love your deposit. You realize you're getting only 1% on that? But your loan is going to be 3%. Yes, I realize. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. You come out of Bank of America, you look, cross the street to Citigroup. You walk in, do the same thing. Same thing. So now, what do we have? We have 50,000 deposit, 50,000 loan. Boom. 50,000 deposit, 50,000 loan. Boom. 50,000 deposit. So we're going to do this. I'm just going to say 6 times. You got the idea? By the way, is that legal? Yes. By the way, what if the bank asks you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What if the bank asks you, why are you doing this? What do you say? Because I'm building credit. Beautiful. Would love to build credit for your company. We're going to report under the tax ID how great you pay. Just pay on time and everything. The last 50,000 that you get, are you with me? You can go deposit it again right here and then pay off your credit card. Remember, you borrowed from the credit card. Let's not get too crazy here. Are you with me, yes or no? You're going to pay off the credit card. Now, every month, you're going to make a payment for this loan, payment for this loan, payment for this loan, payment for this loan, this, every month. 6 months in a row. On the 6th month, you're going to invoice yourself from PayPal again. You're going to deposit 50,000 into PayPal, and then you're going to transfer it into the bank account. Are you with me so far? Then you're going to walk over to that bank and you're going to say, hi, I just deposited $50,000. Do you see it? Yes, we see it in the account. It came from PayPal. Wonderful. I would like to pay off the loan that I owe you of $50,000 with the $50,000 deposit you have. They said, oh my God, this is wonderful. We take your $50,000 deposit, we pay off the loan, so it releases your CD. So now your CD is now released. So you can now show in your account 50,000, because we took the 50,000 deposit to pay off the loan. So the 50,000 originally you put is now released. What do you want? You say, I want a what? I want a cashier check. I want a cashier check for that money. So it's like literally the money, I have 50. And you go right across next door and you say, hi, I actually have a cashier check. I'm going to deposit in the account to pay off the loan. So you release that, take the money, pay off that loan, release it, pay off the loan, release it, pay off the loan. And at the end, you paid off the last loan, and now you got the last 50,000 released, which is what you borrowed, and now you're going to pay back the credit card. How much did that ordeal cost you? You borrowed 50,000, you have 6 times. So it's how much? 300,000 for the year. 3% interest is $9,000. Are you with me, yes or no? But you received deposit of 1% from your CD, $3,000. The net difference it cost you, $6,000. Are you with me, yes or no? And you build credit now, because now you have 6 months of payment on time and paid off the loan earlier, because you took the loan for a year, but you have the CDs for 6 months, so you cancel the CDs 6 months later and you paid off the loan early. You're like a hero. Or if you're a woman, you're a heroine. That is the correct word. Are you with me, yes or no? And when you go back to the bank, you can go to the bank and say, by the way, I have an entity here that has credit with you. How much would you loan me? Instantly they will be like, oh, we can give you 10,000, maybe 15, maybe 12, maybe 20. The next thing you know, you got 100,000 because you have a history of actual loans and payments and history under the tax ID, and now your company has credit on 100,000, 150, 200, and by the end of maybe 8, 9 months, you can actually work with programs with the banks. How many banks you want to do this with? As many as you want. Now, I'm very happy with this structure because my wife, I did a little bit more money for the deposits. So on the 8th month, we had over 750,000 that she could sign for unsecured on a separate LLC with a tax ID, not even showing on her credit score. So good, brings tears to my eyes. Are you with me? I remember at that time, there was a bank called Washington Mutual. Remember that bank? Yeah, that was a good bank. Washington Mutual had a program. It was taken over by Chase, as you know. Washington Mutual had a program that if you're going to buy properties and flip them, you can only get 3 loans under your name per year. Are you with me on this? So the way I did it, my wife, when we got married, I had her keep her last name. My last name is Medawar. I said, you're an independent woman. You are yourself. Keep your last name. She said, wonderful. By the way, more money, more romance. More credit, lots of romance. I'm not going to go there. It's a whole other seminar. Okay, so what happened is I would go to Washington Mutual, buy 3 properties, and she signs a quitclaim deed. And then I go to them again, buy 3 more properties under her name, and I sign a quitclaim deed because separate last names. So I was able to do everything double. You get a credit line, like I have on my credit cards, over $1 million of instant. I can go get a credit over $1 million instantly. Let me show you something. I'm always increasing the credit, but it's kind of just for fun. Look at the number of credit cards. I just took a picture the other day. Isn't it cool? You see these? Santander Bank. You see Wells Fargo? Wells Fargo loves me. So I have a company, a Business Platinum. Originally, Wells Fargo, very generous with that program, by the way. They're crazy. Not only that, they open several, like 25,000 here, 25,000 there, 22,000, and then a credit line. I didn't even ask for it. It said you're pre-approved for a credit line, costs you nothing anytime you take the money out, anytime you pay it back. Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Look at this. Banco Popular. Here's another Business Platinum. Here's Chase. Okay, I put the company as DBA, Sharif Medawar. Me and myself and I. Me, myself and I. So beautiful. Are you with me? Here's another Business Platinum for United Group Fund. Okay, here's another business. Here's Flagstar, is a good company. He's under my wife's name. Here's my wife's name. Here's American Express with this one, Maria Teresa Gala. You're with me on this? Over $1 million. So if there is an opportunity, I have plenty of cash. It doesn't matter to me. But in case somehow, like I just had this opportunity the other day, I wasn't interested in buying anything. This attorney calls me. He says that he bought the property, $1,650,000. He's in trouble. He wants to move on. He's suing some company. He's going to pay him $2 million, and the bank is going to foreclose on him. He said, my credit's going to be ruined. The bank accepted a short sale with another person at $900,000, and then last minute, the bank said, no, we're going to accept a short sale at $1 million. So the guy said, no, the bank is playing game. I'm not buying it. Could you take it for $1 million? $1 million, and it's worth $1,650,000. Let me think. What do you guys think? Okay, so what if you don't have the cash or you're busy with other things? Can you just extract $1 million if you have it ready, go buy it, and then flip it at $1.5 million to flip it fast, get $500,000? What's the whole process is going to cost you what? Maybe, let's say on $1 million is going to cost me about $26,000 because PayPal is going to cost 2.6%. Are you with me? Which is a fee to pay by credit card. 26,000. But I'm going to have $1 million extracted. You know how many free flights I will have? I'll show you how many free flights. It's like there's no downside. Like I'd like to tell you, well, the problem is, what the problem is. There's no problem. Look at this. American Airlines. How many points I have?
1.3 million.
1,378,000. I can go first class 4 times to Europe, sitting first class, sleeping, waking up happier than when I started taking off the flight, right? And all because I did this. So the 25,000, you get it in benefits. Everybody with me on this? Let's say you don't like to take vacations, you're antisocial, and you don't like to talk to anybody. You can sell the actual mileage and get cash. You understand why I asked Mitch? I said, please, I need you to fly in and come in and talk to people, because you can instantly now get $30,000 to $100,000 without going through all. Like if I knew the credit world evolved, and I had to screen many companies to see who will come into my domain, Sharif Medawar Real Estate Investing, CMREI, to bring a company and say, this company can talk to you, and yes, we bless what they do, and we like what they do. They're in compliance, and you can build credit, and you will be happy because I have bigger exposure than all of you. Because if I don't do things right, somebody can walk into the room when I come back to teach in LA or in San Francisco and say, it didn't work for me, he's a liar. Instead, I'm right here, and we broadcast our trainings and seminars, and we say, here is where we are, and come over, and you're... How many people attended with me in the past? I'm curious to know. Raise your hands up, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ask him when you sit at lunch, hey, does he deliver? Is he truly doing the stuff? Has he been here in the market for over 10 years or whatever? How long have you known him? Cool. Did you learn something with the credit session here? Yes. Beautiful. So I think there is a lot to be able to build on credit. And if you're able to build 100, you can build 200. And you don't have to go crazy like me. I mean, I like the $1 million credit line because no matter what, my credit score stays over 750. You don't have to be over 720. You're already getting the same rates as somebody with 820. But the thing is, having that extra available credit lines on buildings and credit cards that you can get at very low interest rates, you are able to look at things with an eye for opportunities, not an eye of, I wish I had, I wish I could, I wish I would. And once you combine that with, once I go into further stuff and details after lunch, on how to pitch and raise capital and how to do the business plan, you will see that when we go into day 2 and 3 and you learn how to put the deals together with how to raise capital, the world is yours and you can make as much money as you want.